How's it going, guys? If you don't know me, I'm Joshua and I run the Z Garage. And I kind of wanted to start out a new year, a new kind of format style for videos. Not that I'm going to really change much of the content, we're still going to be kind of doing the same thing as before. But I wanted you guys to see my face. I want this to be a little bit more of a personal channel. The reason for that is because there's a couple of car meets coming up this year. We've got Branson Z Fest at the beginning of June, and then ZCon I think is in September. And I really want to attend both of those. You know, I've had this car for like 6 years now, and there's not a lot of Z31 community here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I live. There are some Zs for sure, but not like big Z meets, and I really want to go to some big Z meets. So I really want to get this car done. We haven't had a video on it in quite a bit, and it's just because it's been so cold. But as you can see, we're in a garage now. So I moved my daily out and I brought this in because I really want to get some work done on it, and it is just something that really, a lot of it couldn't be done outside because it was, you know, too snowy, too rainy, too cold for paint and stuff. So I went ahead and I moved it into my garage. And I'm hoping it's not in here for too long because I really do like putting my daily in a garage, but I really want to get some good work done on it. So hopefully we can go ahead and get some cool stuff done. I'm going to go ahead and do just a quick update as to where things are and what we're kind of looking for in the future here. But I wanted to go ahead and make a video and say, guys, we are going to be working on this. I'm committed to putting out videos, maybe not every single week, just depending on my schedule, but really as much as I can. I hate not posting for long periods of time, and I'm ready to jump back into the swing of things. So let's go ahead and take a look around the car, see how it is as it sits. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of these stuff that I've got in line for it, and just kind of do a quick update, and then next week we'll probably jump in. I've got a couple really cool things I'll show you here in just a second that I want to start working on, so hopefully we can get that done. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so here we have the Z. It really hasn't changed all that much since I think you guys have seen it last. I haven't got tons of time to do work on it. Under the engine bay here, we've still got a little bit of stuff from painting it. I think that was one of the last videos you guys saw. I put a few things in, but really not that much. We'll go ahead and talk about that in just a bit here. Car is pretty much the same as it was. Haven't done too much to it. But what I really want to focus on is trying to finish out the engine bay. That's really kind of like the one thing that I need to do. So we're going to go ahead and clean up all the wiring, put it all back where it was. And then I got this stuff right here. This is the Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 Rust Performance Seal. So this is a rubberized black undercoating, this guy. We're going to go ahead and, I don't know if you guys watch TikTok. It's definitely not the best content, especially for cars. It's very fast fashion. But there is one creator on there, I believe his name is Tristan Kim, and he has a really clean S14, I believe. It might be an S13. And he used this exact same seal. He put it on his frame rails. So these frame rails down here, he did a little bit, he did a little bit of his transmission tunnel. I think he did the outside of the wheel wells and even these fender aprons right here. And I think that's a really good idea. As you can see, we got rust right here. This is a common spot on Z31s to rust. I think it's just this line right here. It collects water and then it rusts out. So we're going to clean this up. We're going to reseal it, and then we're going to put that rubberized undercoating. All these areas right here, these were some brackets that I broke out for the old ECU. You can see they're all nice and rusty. So we're going to reseam seal all this and then coat it in the nice rubberized undercoating. I don't know how much of under here we're going to do because it is very dirty and I don't really have the patience to clean it all before putting the rubberized undercoating on. So we'll see how much we get there. I might do the top of this fender apron right here. Probably not. I don't really think it'll get too messy, but definitely probably the outside right here and then up forward as well underneath here. Same thing on the other side. That's what I'm expecting. Pretty much the same thing, a little bit of rust along those little parts right there. So really it's nothing too bad, and it shouldn't take too long to go ahead and get that done. Hopefully that's one weekend's worth of work, but we will see. Moving on to the rear end, something that I got. It's in this box right here. You probably, it's a box, you can't tell. We got a limited slip differential for the Z. So there are a lot of different types of limited slip differentials. There are a lot of different ways and brands that people recommend. The cheapest one, which is what I've done because I feel like a lot of people like to do it, and I would like to at least document it, is to get a OBX helical limited slip differential. How's it going, guys? I was editing this video and I realized I didn't put quite enough explanation in here, so I wanted to go ahead and just talk about differentials real quick. So obviously the more expensive differentials are usually going to be better. One of the popular ones for Z31s is the KAZ differential. I think it's KAAZ. You can get, 1.5 way or 2 way limited slip differentials. Pretty much anything that works with an S13 will work in a Z31. They both have R200 differentials. I think the S13 might have come with some other ones, but make sure it's just for an R200. That's all you need. And then it'll work in a Z31. But there's a bunch of different kinds. The reason that I went with the OBX was because it was cheap. It's not going to be the best by far. It's a helical differential, which is there's a couple different types. I'm not 100% sure on the different ways that they lock up and everything. But it's better than an open diff, and this one I got it on Walmart. It was really funny. Somebody posted in the Z groups, they're like, you can get OBX differentials for like $300 right now. It was like $250 plus $40 of shipping. And then I got an upgrade kit for all the washers and everything. I think I go on to tell that in just a second here. But the point is there's a lot of different types of differentials. This one is by far not the best. I wouldn't be recommending this to you guys. I'm just documenting what I'm doing. But it is an option if you're looking for a budget limited slip differential. It will lock up the rear end to a certain extent to make sure that you don't have a one-wheel peel if you're just, having a little bit of fun. And I'm not really expecting to track this car. I'm not expecting to do, crazy racing with it or anything. So it's not like I need this diff to perform absolute 100% at its peak all the time. So I'm not too worried about this. I just wanted to document what I was doing. So I just wanted to let you guys know there are other differentials out there. This isn't the best way to do it. It's a very budget-friendly way, which I like to show because I know a lot of people like to do the budget-friendly way. But there are better ways to do it. So just keep that in mind if you're building your Z. Keep in mind what you're actually building it for, and then choose the parts that are going to support that properly. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into the video. Now, the problem with the OBX is that they have washers and bolts in them that are just kind of low quality. So you get these upgraded washers and bolts. So we're going to go ahead and have to repack that with, or we're going to open it up, put in the upgraded hardware, and then close it back up again. So we're going to go ahead and drop the entire rear subframe. We're going to do the subframe bushings at the same time and just clean everything up, make sure it's looking good. I'll probably put on rubberized undercoating in any spots that I think might need it in any of this area here, just because we want to go ahead and make sure to protect it as best as possible. So that is kind of what is coming up in the immediate future here. Nothing too crazy. I went ahead and got some new tools. Those are just random dollies. I figured that probably when we drop the subframe, this will be helpful to roll it out. So we're gonna go ahead and use those when we get there. I got a new jack, it looks really cool. This was from Harbor Freight. This is a 1.5 ton Daytona jack. Low profile, which I need for this car when we have the front bumper and everything on it, because it really is really low. Kind of difficult to get to. That's pretty much it. Let's jump over here real quick. If you guys have followed me on Instagram, you may have seen these transmissions a lot. Well, not tons, but like more than anything else I post, because this is a CD09, and as you can see back here, we finally got a custom shift bracket for this bad boy. So it works really, really well. You can get all 6 gears in reverse, just like that. I love it. Works really, really well. There is going to be more videos on that once we get this. Alright guys, sorry about that, my camera battery died. But like I was saying, this is a CD09 transmission. This is a custom shifter bracket right here. And of course we got some fancy stuff going on the front end there to adapt it to a VG. But this is kind of coming up in the queue. I made a few videos on it you might have seen, adapting the front half But it's going really good. This shifter bracket looks really sick. I thought the yoke for the transmission would be the same thing between a 30A and a CD09, but here's my drive shaft that I pulled out of my car, and it is not fit. So we're going to go ahead and need a new drive shaft, but that's actually okay, because if you can see this nice shiny band right here, I was accidentally rubbing on something. After I pulled the engine out, I lifted this up with a bungee cord and just held it against the top of the transmission tunnel. And apparently while moving it around, it was rubbing on a bolt head, and it put a nice little groove in there, which is not great for power when you're trying to put power through something, especially right in the center. So we're gonna go ahead and need a new one of those anyways, which is fine. It was only like 350 bucks, I think, from Shaft Masters. So very cool that we're going to be getting a new one of those that fits this CD09. We'll be going ahead and finishing that up here after we're done with the body of the car. I think that is pretty much it at the moment, guys. We got some really cool stuff coming up from the store, the zgarage.net. The store tab. We're going to have some cool anodized things. I recently got a laser engraver, and I've been experimenting with laser engraving anodized aluminum. So this is a distributor cap. If you remember the block offs that I make, this is the top of it, and then there's a ring that goes around it to adapt. And I'm going to go ahead and engrave some really cool stuff on the top there. You can see it says the Z Garage on the back. So that'll be coming up here soon as well. So keep your eyes on zgarage.net. There's actually some other really cool things. I don't want to spoil them, but keep your eyes on the channel and on the store. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I apologize that it's been so long since we got a really good video out for you. And this week is really just an update, so again, not really too much. But I'm hoping that now that I have this here at my house, I can go ahead and make more reliable progress, even if it's just a little bit each day. I'm hoping that that leads to an episode closer to once a week. Again, I'm not committing to a whole episode every week because, you know, it's ski season right now, and every once in a while I'm going to want to go skiing. But hopefully we can go ahead and make some good progress. So, as always, guys, if you have any questions or comments, suggestions for anything that we should do, definitely drop a comment down below. I love hearing your suggestions and asking questions. It's great. If you have any questions about anything that I've done as well, I try to reply as best as I can on any of my comments that I get as well. We've got some really cool new Yoshida. We got the rear bumper coming in like 2 months. So we've got 6 months until Branson Z Fest, and I'm hoping we can get this pretty much all put together here in the next 2 to 3 months, so we can get it out to the dyno, get it tuned, and then get it to paint as well. I don't really have a good timeline on how long this is going to take, so 6 months is my deadline for Branson Z Fest. It's pretty far away from New Mexico. It's in Missouri, which is about a 13-hour drive if I Googled it correctly. But it's going to be really, really cool, guys. So I hope you guys tune in next week for us continuing. I think we're going to go ahead and start with cleaning up the engine bay, probably moving any of the wires up off the frame rails and painting them, getting started on cleaning this up here and painting that as well. And then in the future, we will be dropping the rear subframe. So very, very cool. Hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys next time.